Hey, this is A-Rod with OGEconomics.com. Today is April 4th, 2023, and I wanted to do this video here in regards to what is currently going on with Trump and all things economically. So first of all, I consider today to be the start of Trump's revenge. And the reason I say that is one of the things people didn't like about Trump was because of his mean tweets. More specifically, whenever he came up against an adversary that said anything negative about him or really tried to come after him, he was vicious. Really vicious. And that's what people didn't like about him. And the reason I'm bringing this up right now is because if we look at the whole situation here since he became president in 2016, obviously the deep state, just about everybody that wanted to take him down has been attacking him. And along the way, every attack that has occurred, the opposite side of that has been it's exposed all of the let's call them traitors, all the politicians that have wanted to come after him to hide up, to keep hiding their crimes. Anybody that wanted Trump to be taken down was not because of his mean tweets. It was because he was exposing the fraud, the corruption, everything that's happening with the pedophile movements. And so my point in bringing this up and why I say today is Trump's revenge, the start of Trump's revenge, is now that they've officially arrested Donald Trump, it opens the door for everybody else. And what I mean by that is they're going to now go after Obama. They're going to go after Bush. They're going to go after Clinton. They're going to go after Biden. They're going to go after Hunter Biden. They're going to be able to go after everybody. They just opened up Pandora's box. And right now, the left is cheering what has happened today. I believe that shortly they're going to be crying for what happened today. And so the one thing I know about Trump from and I followed him going back to the 80s when he first wrote the Art of the Deal, is the people that do come after him and do attack him, he will eventually take them down. And we've waited an awful long time over the last let's say the last 7 years since he became president. We've waited an awful long time for him to really attack. And I think we have just released, after today's indictment or arrest, I think we will see Trump release his wrath. And I know that it's maybe hard to believe that because we haven't seen a lot of it yet on the outside. There's a lot of things been going on the inside that we get snippets of here and there. But I think now we're going to accelerate. We're really going to see this thing open up in terms of the amount of people that are going to go down is going to surprise the hell out of you. If we look at it from a standpoint of economically, the U.S., through stupid policies, has tried to force Russia, tried to isolate Russia from the rest of the world because of Ukraine, but many other reasons. But they tried to get Russia to be isolated. And that has completely backfired. Not only is Russia not isolated, Russia now has a strong relationship with China. And those two countries, Russia and China, have relationships now with Saudi Arabia, with parts of South America. I mean, we tried to isolate Russia and it backfired. China then looked at what we tried to do to Russia and they said, well, if we invade Taiwan, here's what's going to happen. They're going to sanction us. They're going to cut us off from SWIFT. And so everything that we did to Russia, China looked at that and said, well, they're going to do the same thing to us. So what's China going to do? China's been selling their U.S. bonds. That's forcing rates to rise, which is not what any market wants to see, but that's what's happening. Now, a couple days ago, we saw OPEC Plus in coordination reduce oil capacity, which, in my opinion, hurts the U.S. even much more than just on the surface. On the surface, we see gas prices rising, and that's going to hurt more and more. But the bigger issue here is that in order for Biden to be able to tout that inflation was coming down and gas prices were coming down, he sold our strategic portfolio reserve down to, I believe it's below half of what we had prior to him becoming president. Hard to even say that because he didn't really become president, he stole it. But more importantly, he has squandered half of our strategic portfolio reserve. And the reason we have a reserve is in case we have a war and we have a stockpile of oil to use. Well, in this case, he sold down more than half of our stockpile. And now OPEC Plus is reducing production. So therefore, prices are going to rise. And although Biden wants to try to fill up our strategic portfolio reserve, he's not going to be able to do it at prices he was selling the oil at to begin with. And so, I mean, they have completely screwed up the U.S. We are in such a vulnerable position, all due to the fact that they wanted Donald Trump out of office. And so we're all going to pay the price. But more importantly, us as U.S. citizens and anybody associated with Trump have paid the price over the last few years. And I think after today's arrest and arraignment, you're going to start seeing the left pay the price. And it's going to be a price that they have no idea just how big that price is going to be. And so, I debated on even coming out with a video like this because these are not normal videos that I normally do in terms of talking about politics, as pointed as I am. But the fact is that we're so vulnerable that it wasn't Trump that put us in the situation. It was the current Biden administration and all of their lackeys all over the place. And so there's a price that's going to be paid, and it's not just going to be paid by the right any longer. It's going to be paid by the left. And I don't think that they're really ready for the big price that they're going to pay. And I'm not talking about us individuals doing anything. I'm talking about when Trump has been attacked throughout his entire life, he will go at you until he finishes the job. And right now, all he has done is allowed the people that were attacking him behind the scenes to come in front of the scenes, out in front of the curtain, so everybody can clearly see who's involved. And now they're on the verge of going down. And well, let's just say that once this happens, then we're going to see the U.S. be able to rebuild and shine like we haven't shown before. I think there's a lot of new technology out there that we haven't been able to become aware of and use. But I think once we get past this episode, then we can finally start getting back to making America great again. And I think it's coming. It's going to come much sooner than you probably think. And the way you want to look at this is the faster you see things spin out of control, the closer you know we're coming to resolution. And that resolution has to happen. It's going to happen. And when it happens, we can all cheer and then get to work, because it's going to be a tough road on the backside coming back out of this. But I think everybody, once we get rid of all these cockroaches, then we can go ahead and fight and live and work to build this country back again. So that's my perspective. I'll follow up a little bit later with some more info. Have a good day.